I'm back, my friends. How's it going? Great day, great morning, great evening, great afternoon. All across this geocentric realm. I appreciate all you truthers out there who follow me. We're going to talk about some strawman knowledge right now, which is basically a hypothetical court appearance based off of you being the beneficiary of the estate being administered in these things. Because what I want to talk about with you guys right now is your warehouse bond birth receipt, your certificate of manifestation, my friends. This is what this is called. So Joseph and Nick and Heather K, make sure you invite as many people in here as you possibly can so that you realize how to let go of this matrix system. The least resisting way. Do less and accomplish more, okay? What we're going to talk about right now is this bond, this banking bond, my friends. This is called a certificate of manifestation. This is called a certificate of manifestation. Now what I want you guys to do is go on your birth of manifestation, which is a BERTH, considering you a lost dead vessel at sea, and look at the numbers and the letters that you are controlled by, and the sacred geometry you are controlled by. Do you understand me? I need you guys to look at this very carefully. My slave name, all caps, Kirby James Foster. The persona, the fictitious persona, the mask, not who I am. I am Monk Xylio. I am in my own capacity. I am the living man in the flesh, the soul in the flesh. Now what I want you guys to do is take out your certificate bond and look at the state birth certificate bond number. Look how it says over here one number, and over here another number, and over here another number. The local registration, district, and certificate number. What are these numbers for? Do you ever ask yourself these questions? What are these numbers for on your certificate of manifestation? And why are they split up to confuse you? Why are you being conned and swindled with numbers? How come they know your zodiac symbology? If they know that I'm born on November 5th, 1987 at 1911 hours, then they know I'm a Scorpio. They know I ascend into a Gemini, and they know my moon sign is a Taurus. They know the geocentric realm and everything that's infatuated with it. Do you understand, my friends? What I want you to really see here is a second number on your birth bond. Why is there a second date? If this is nothing but a birth certification, why is there an accepted date for registration? What does that mean, Joseph Hopkins? What does this mean, Melissa? What does it mean? What is a registrar? Huh? And who is this? Who is the third party signature on your bank bond? What does it mean to live the American dream? Because my point of the matter is you can go look up your QSIP number on the right here. This is your social security number, and your social security number on the back linked with all of these registrar numbers. And on this date, which is not your birth date, mine was November 5th, not December 28th. This was when the day that they were registering you as a commodity onto the market as a bank bond. You are nothing but a bank bond. And I need you guys to wake up to this. This is the reason why 99% of our society is enslaved. The jury controls courts. They should have never been propped up to be steamrolling people. The birth state claims custody of your children, which means to render your chi energy pursuant to the birth certificate, and records them under the Department of Transportation as a state-owned vessel. Do you understand? When my mother and my father and their all caps corporate name signed their signature off as a legal tender to give me, their son, to the government as a kid, as a baby goat, as a renderer of chi energy, because they are pay rentals. I don't have a mother and father. I have corporate entity pay rentals. Do you guys understand this? Am I explaining this to you correctly, they know who I am. They know where I stand. Murray Gold, Colorado Avenue, Hayward, California. Numbers and symbols own you. So when I talk about revoking all sacred geometry inside literature, inside logos, which contain control over us, I definitely do mean that we need to revoke those rights from government out of spiritual contract and invoke the rights of the Republic as they follow you in your venue wherever you stand, because your home is your body. Do you understand, my friends? Only when I go and speak to these people, I'm only here on a special limited appearance on behalf of the defendant, which is right here. This all caps witchcraft. What is up with the two snakes? And then the fact that they're doing DNA alteration, nothing but an experiment. And what is this mind control symbology right here, where they're cutting up the head? Why is the symbology being cut up of the head? Why is there an all-seeing phoenix above two snakes in angelic wings with two snakes and a magical staff? This is black magic, friends. This is witchcraft. This is black magic. And when you see this, you only have a copy. This says this is a true copy of a record on file in the Office of Vital Registration, meaning this is a bank certificate bond and nothing but the copy of it. That means you are conducting commerce on your body. This social security number, improper use of this card and number by the number holder or any other person is punishable by a fine, imprisonment, or both. So when I go and speak to people, which is a persona, which is a mask, which isn't a real person because you guys are all eluded by this illusion of a life, I say that I know, that I understand a magistrate is somebody who is in control as a referee because an attorney or a police officer has leveled a criminal charge with the clerk against the trust, an all caps name which appears on your birth manifestation. And the use of an all caps letter, this is not my name. My name is capital K, lowercase I. The use of all capital letters is dictated by a U.S. printing style manuscript, which explains how to identify a corporation, a business, not a body. They're taking the body and making it a business. And the clerk who is the administrator of the Cestui Cue Trust, because you don't do your research and look up the Cestui Cue Trust of 1666, who appointed the magistrate as trustee over your trust. And since neither of two people can be the beneficiary at twice, this leaves only you. That means that the judges and magistrates are your trustee. So if you know they're your trustee, you must instruct them to discharge any matter with prejudice and award for penalties for the crimes to be paid back to you in compensations and damages for your false arrest, because they are trading you as a slave. You are a slave. You need to represent, you are your own king in your own kingdom, or you are a slave. So you need to instruct them to discharge the entire matter with prejudice and award to penalties for the crimes to be paid back to me, paid back to you, and prejudice, and compensations and damages for a false arrest. The law of trust dictates an administered trustee and beneficiary cannot serve two positions in the trust. So a trustee cannot be a beneficiary too. The trustee judge must honor your demands. This is not you. This is a registered bond, a banking bond. It's the American dream. You have $8 billion linked to your soul right here through witchcraft and demonology and the two poisonous stakes and the Moses staff and the genetics hybrid manipulation of your DNA and the breakdown of your mind through mind control and Gwen Towers. You think it's a joke. This is very, very, very serious stuff. And I want you guys to raise your awareness to it as you are being conducted as a business. This is a business, my friend. This right here is not what you think it is. A persona is not illegal, is nothing but a fictitious false character. So they're taking the corporation, they're taking the law of the seas and imposing them on the law of the land and then onto your body. So a Jolly Roger gold trim flag is nothing but a captured treasure. You are the captured treasure. I thought our flag was red, white, and blue. When did it turn yellow? Why is it yellow? Can anybody answer me that's in the chat right now? I have 14 people here and no one's saying a damn word. Does anybody care about this stuff? I need you to understand, with this knowledge, you are a slave. They can take your sons from you. They can take your daughters from you. They can take your debt from you. They can put their hands in your bank accounts. They can take your family from you. They can remove you of your property, any property. Remember, your sons and daughters are labeled as a commodity, as you all know. Your sons and daughters are labeled as a state-owned vessel. Do you understand? The birth state claims custody of your children present to the birth certificate, that meaning you are Jolly Rogered. This is what I want you guys to connect to. A licensed attorney, when you go in dealing with these things, is not a state license to practice law. You are being manipulated. You are being deceived. You are being lied to. You are being conned. You are being pirated. You know, con means to swindle. You know, piracy means to rape, pillage, and destroy the lands. Did you guys know that? The practice of law cannot be licensed by any state. 353 U.S. 238 239. And I want you guys to look up that before it's too late. For they live off of a system called Roman maximum. And it means if thou shalt be deceived, then let them be deceived. And this is the whole system that they operate on. The definition of people is a persona, and the definition of citizen is scum. States mean a corporation, not a land. You are legally dead and lost at seas. Zombies, legally dead and owned. And you are ran by the Inns of Court. The Inns of Court is a privatized foreign agent, corporation from London. They're not even America. They're not of your land. So it is a color of law. It's a colorable court of law. And what this means is that the appearance or resemblance without the substance of legal right is the use of power, possessed by virtue of state and law, and made possible only because a wrongdoer is clothed with authority of state. An action taken under color of law. Now, if you look up Atkins versus Lanning and DC versus Oklahoma, you will see how deceived you truly, truly are. And I want you guys to make sure that you know that you are always going in for a want of prosecution. And you are always being forced by terror to do acts against your will. When you watch television, or you're around Gwen Towers, or you go to government curriculum schoolings and you don't do private schoolings to learn freedom, you need to understand that when you represent yourself in propria persona, you have no name. You've got no name. And if you don't understand what I'm telling you, take judicial notice of your honor's oath in office, so you can see that judges aren't judges, they're magistrates, and they're acting as a banker. They're not acting as a judge. They're acting as a banker. Statutes, acts, and regulations don't apply to a natural person. You really think you're not allowed to cross the street? I can't believe how brain-controlled you are. You don't believe that Pizzagate exists and that Disney 666 group on Facebook is a joke? Disney 666 subliminal messages are not real, because they are. Do you not understand that Latin is not the language of the dead? It's the dead. It's a dead language. It's a dead language. It's not a dead language. It's the language of the dead. Sorry, I had that backwards. And if you study the origin of Latin and Greek and Hebrew, you will see where English comes from. And every single letter on this form here is a hex and a witchcraft. Every single one. And if they know your sacred geometry, if they know your anthropology based off of your zodiac, and they know your behavioral status, they know where to separate me from my spirit tribe. Hence, how many people out there every day that I talk to and invite you over or tell you to come hang out or get on these live videos and share this, and I've reached maybe 3 people, because the illusions in this world have 99% of you asleep. Whether you think you're awake or not, you are not awake if you are conducting commerce with your all caps name. You are a slave, my friends. And if you get mad at me for telling you that, then that's all good. I have some thick skin, and I've been doing this for 7 years. Strawman unlocked. No family later, because what family? What father? What mother? They pay rent tolls. They don't even know how the system works, while I'm excluded as a black sheep in my personal bloodline. What is your bloodline about? Can you guys do the research on this stuff? Because what I want you to know is the Constitution are rights already given to you under natural law from birth. They cannot be taken from you. Especially when from the birth state with your manifestation bond, there's no money. They went bankrupt in 1933. And if you know the law in 1666, the Cestui Cue Trust marks you as a dead vessel lost at sea. You're already dead. How can somebody dead be charging somebody that's dead? Because 90% of the time you are the plaintiff and the defendant. It's a fraudulent system. It's completely fraudulent system. America is not free, and a judge is nothing but a master referee in black robes. Their oath is not to natural law and to God. Their oath is to the bench, to the bank, to the bar association. They are not real. Only God can judge. Where do you think that comes from? And why do they call it court like it's a game, like it's a basketball game? And how come they're allowed to record you, but you can't record them? That's a lie. Record everything. Realize that you're registered under a registrar, which isn't even the same word. So in Latin syntax grammar code, this is your slave owner. They even have their signature on your bond. You should go find this Carl Smith, MD, local registrar, and sue him. Because now on March 21st, 1989, I'm being traded on the market. I was accepted onto the market as a commodity December 28th, 1987. Now I'm building equity for the system as a slave come March 21st, 1989. And it took me till I was 25 years old with 2 daughters, kids as a kids, and them being kidnapped from me being a business owner and having everything stolen from me back from square one, and learning that anywhere I go I can triple my worth. And you can do that based off of barter and trade and freedom, free energy and freedom. Do you understand? All courtrooms are tombs, and they are all satanic Luciferian pirate ships. If you can look above these courthouses, they literally look like a pirate ship being docked. And the judge is the referee. Banks are found on both sides of a river bank, so of course they're using the law of the seas. They're called river banks, like the bank. And what do river banks do, friends? What do the banks do? They direct the flow of the currents, the current sea, right? So we're dead and lost at sea, the juice. Consequently, your money is the currency because it is the flow. It is the cash flow. And where is your money? It's in this bond. It's the Treasury of the United States of America. Treasury of the United States of America, and you're registered into it. And these numbers here, as I explained to you at first, are bank account numbers, basically. So that you know how to live the American dream, you can basically offset any damages in your name. Whether you're killing people or just trying to be with your daughters and your sons. People get away with murdering and slaughtering and vaccinating people. People get away with doing chemical trails and frequency weaponry to clog the mind with all this illusion, not realizing that we all live in dead trees. You're in a compound, you're in a prison. Heliocentric model of life means he of hell, who lies, sins, cheats, and tricks. So I want you guys to really connect to this, and I want you to share this. I do not board pirates' ships. I do not listen to the privileged few. I do not answer questions of Roman UNIDROIT soldiers. Capitis diminito maxima. It's your lowered status. It means You are the artificial all-cap straw man name. You are a slave. Your straw man is a fake entity who is being pushed onto you. So, for the record, I just clearly stated that I am not an agent, I'm not a trustee, nor the named defendant or surety against which these Luciferians seek to settle their matter. I am the beneficiary. That's your name on these bank numbers, fam. That's your name in this registry. That's your signature. That's your entity. That's your body. You're a captured vessel. You're a captured, lost, dead slave. Jolly Roger. Jolly Roger. Jolly Roger. Let me repeat my question. Do lawyers and attorneys and prosecutors have a claim against you as the grantor and the beneficiary of your own estate? Because they don't. You have the bond. This is it. How would they own your bond if you were born and you have your own birth certificate? Don't you understand that this was the American dream? They were not supposed to allow the system to over-capture you. You should be having your guns out. You should be all going down to courts. You guys should be threatening magistrates. You guys should be threatening the Board of Education. You guys should be threatening the Congress, because con means to swindle and gress means gradually over time. Why are they swindling people gradually over time? That's piracy. That's conning. Conning means to swindle. Piracy means to rape, pillage, and destroy your lands. We are not conspiracies telling you this billion-dollar information. We are truthers. Any of you who get me mixed up with a conspiracy theorist and a truther need to just get your ass off my friends list and out of my life and keep maintaining that slave life, because I am not your prophet. I don't appreciate the privileged few trying to tell me what I don't know when I already know what's going on here. Tell me something I don't know. Because I'm only attracted to spiritual guided people. I'm only attracted to people with high soul energy like I have. I'm only attracted to people that are effective heart beings. Effective. Quite simple to understand these things. Fast your body. Get some healing crystals. Ra's Legion is not what we're talking about here. Religion has nothing to do with any of this. Religion is a whole nother syntax to clog up your mind with the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. It doesn't matter. People are killing. People are stealing with this knowledge. I am not going to use this knowledge to enslave my people across earth. This is bullshit. 99% of society is completely enslaved. Completely enslaved. Prosecutors try to bring on charges against the estate, against the all caps name defendant, which they presume is you. It's a presumption. It's an assumption. It's not who you are. You are the living soul in the body. You are the living woman in your venue. You are the living man in your own body. Hence, you best know who you are and what you represent. Okay? This transhumanism movement is to keep you away from this. Keep you away from this. Outer space is to keep you cognitive to your inner space. It's not real. It's not real. All divinity comes from within. All divine knowledge comes from within. Judge, for the record, if I cross the bar, am I entering into contract with the court? Yes or no? Judge, with all due respect, I have no intention to board your ship. I operate under the laws of the Republic, and I hereby invoke the laws of the Republic, U.S. Article 4.4 of the Constitution, which are your inner inalienable rights that are yours before anyone can give them to you through a conning of your institution. Your inner institution is a business, and you're being conned by it. The Constitution is not what we're talking about here. We are the captain of our own ship. We operate in our own venue to manage our own affairs in our own court of equity. My court is hereby set under the laws of the Republic. I can operate just fine from wherever I stand. My law follows me wherever I go. Thank you, magistrate. I'm here to help administer this case expeditiously. I'm here to expedite this case. So let's get on with it. What do you guys want in life? because you don't need dead trees with sigils. You need soul energy, because we do not consent to a slave system. We have our rights following us wherever we go. Thou shalt not harm other people. If you harm one of my spirit tribe, then you have my whole entire spirit tribe to deal with, and waiting for you as soon as you walk out of that court. Hence, why are you guys allowing all of these chemtrails? See all the settling chemtrails right here? You think those are clouds out there that you can see when it looks like a beautiful blue day? It's not. Look at the line right there. You can see blue up here, which means we're just in it. We're in a big, huge smoke cloud, like a bunch of bugs. You're nothing but an experiment. Let's go back to the symbology here. Look at the sacred geometry. Do you understand? It's called natural law. You can operate in natural law or common law. You operate as the beneficiary of the estate being administered. I'm here in propria persona, Joseph Hopkins. It's a hypothetical court appearance. That means I'm not really there. I'm in propria persona. Google propria persona. You're making a special appearance as the grantor and the beneficiary of the estate being administered. You're the grantor and the beneficiary of the estate being administered in any related case, criminal or not. Do you understand, my friends? So you tell the magistrate that you're here to help administer the matter for the benefit of the court. And if the prosecutor has a valid claim against you, which is the man who is beneficiary to the estate of the defendant, because you are there in propria persona, then tell them to let you see it, and you will let them know if you are the named party or not. So please, verify me with the claim, because they're going to bring out a claim that has an all capitalized letter, meaning they're conducting commerce. They're conducting commerce. Let me see. I'll tell you if I'm conducting commerce. I'm not conducting commerce. So excuse me, show me the claim to the living man who is the beneficiary of this estate. They're going to keep battering you and keep saying this, that, and then you're going to let them know that you just stated for the record to let the record reflect that the prosecutor has not presented to anything to the court to document me which supports a verified claim against me. Judge, I move this court to dismissal in the cases the prosecutor had failed to establish any claim. Matter of fact, bailiff, arrest this imposter. Arrest him. These prosecutors and attorneys and judges and magistrates and just frauds, just arrest him. Citizens arrest. Hey bailiff, I know that you guys all have judicial immunity. They're fucking frauds, fam. Getting it out now. Get it out of your soul. Get it out of your soul. Everything you talk to me is small talk. People who cannot hold a conversation with me about this, I really don't want to be around them. I'm too sensitive for it. I'm an empath. I feel the pain in the earth. Subrogate. Subrogate everything on the fictitious name Kirby James Foster in all capital letters. A driver's license is not a form of an ID. It is not a form of an ID. It is a form of conducting business as commerce, as a registry under the Queen. Hence, I wonder what this word over here back on my bond means. Registrar? Do you really have a mother and a father? Or are they just paying rent and spearing rent, paying rent to tolls, pay rent tolls? Do you understand? Joseph Hopkins, there is no changing anything. There is no accessing your money. There's working in the matrix as this all caps entity, or you work outside of the matrix where you just do not exist. Some people use both. Some people operate as Monk Xylio and Kirby Foster. Some people completely eradicate themselves from this bond, and they reverse the bond, and they offset their damages and crimes to be paid back to the grantor in full, because the one that was committing the crimes was the one that was being paid off to begin with, which is all you. This is the American dream. What do you think was going down when people would duel out in the streets in the 1900s, when you would go outside and say, hey, Tiffany, Joseph, you want to keep telling me I don't know what I'm talking about? Let's come and duel, and I'm going to shoot you right in your face, right in front of the sheriff. I'm going to shoot you. We're going to go do, we're in 10 steps, and then we turn around and duel, and I'm going to shoot you in your face because you're not listening to me. And then the police officers, the Roman UNIDROIT soldiers, and the sheriff watch. They watch. This is why. So in a movie, all that subliminal download keeping you from understanding that's what's really going on, that's what's occurring. We're all angelic people sent here. We decided to come here, and everything you do takes you away from your high energy soul power. Everything you do takes you away from connecting to your higher consciousness. It's a conning of your sciences. Everything you do is taking you away from the spiritual syntax. This language I'm speaking to you is not my language. English is derived from an old Latin witchcraft. Go look up on Monk Xylio. Go look up 144,000 strawmen and research everything that I'm telling you. Again, I don't expect you all to understand this because that means you stand underneath me. I don't expect you to stand under me. I'm expecting you to take this millions of dollars worth of information people pay fake attorneys and judges and magistrates and lawyers for, who take their money and take their estate and then put them in the wrong direction for thousands of dollars, conducting commerce, making you a slave to your entity. So any lawyer out there, any esquire, any bailiff, any attorney, any magistrate who hides this knowledge from you and doesn't tell you about it is a Decepticon. They're deceptors. They're decepting you. You are being deceived. You are being manipulated and conned through your own trauma while your own sons and daughters are being stolen from you. Piracy, raped, pillaged, and destroyed lands. I mean, I'm sitting out here trying to enjoy the beautiful weather, and I can feel the Gwyn Towers. I can hear the Gwyn Towers ringing in my ears. You're not going to move out of state. There's no such thing as getting away from this. This is across Earth. It's called mutuo proprio, and it's inflicted by the Vatican. So they either got you with Ra's Legion by controlling your mind through your belief system, which means to be of all lies. So I would throw the trash religion out the door. Religion is not spirituality. Or they're going to get you by manipulating you through your own guilt. You are the complainter against yourself. You are the complainter against yourself. A certificate of manifest doesn't say who you are. A certificate of manifest says that what they are claiming you to be as a slave, it's not who you are. In propria persona, your person, you are not a person. Don't let them fool you into thinking you are a person. When you are talking about conducting commerce and law, a person is similar to a company. A person is a corporation in all caps name. A person exists as a construct of the imagination. It has no real body and no soul to save, but for legal purposes carries similar rights and attributes to that of a human man or woman. But if you look up human, that's a hue of a man, an offset of a real man, meaning a monstar, a human. So are you sure you're a person? Are you sure you're a human? You are neither. You are in the flesh. You are the living entity inside the flesh. You are the living soul. You are the living woman. You are the living man inside the flesh. Do you understand, Misty, how this all works? That you are manipulated and controlled by symbology and logos on your birth bond manifestation receipt, which is a warehouse receipt, while UNIDROIT is up in the sky with helicopters over your land all day, in your airspace all day. This space bullshit, meaning all the air you breathe is not going to be yours. It's going to be maintained by a governing of your mental. That's this new space program that this fake human clone of a Trump, meaning Drump, D-R-U-M-P-F, is consolidating you. Trump means to make you think that there's worth when there's no worth. You're all being Donald Trump. The government treats you like a full-blown prostitute. And this manifestation of birth, this manifestation right here, is proof, because it's nothing but a bank receipt bond. Now, if you get your long-form bank bond, as you guys already know, this is a copy. This is a vital registration copy of the true record on file. Record, not just a paper, it's a full-blown record. It's a full-blown banking system making you a slave to this system. On the back of your social security card, as I will repeat myself, this number is a QSIP number connected with the certification numbers on your birth certificate that are put in 4 different places, manipulated into 3 different places, and you have to figure that out like a game, like a puzzle. They hide it from you. They manipulate you. You are traded on the market as a commodity. You understand this? The gold trim around the flag suspends the Constitution. You have no rights. You never did. The conning of your institution. Is that what you guys want to work on? Have you ever heard of subrogation? You are the creditor, right? You are the grantor and the creditor of the estate being administered, and you do not operate on presumptions nor assumptions. So why are you not making them subrogate your child support, subrogate your lawsuits, subrogate your credit cards, subrogate your mortgages, subrogate your tax, subrogate your criminal, subrogate your traffic? Here's the thing. All you shitty lawyers and shitty attorneys using people's trauma to make money off of them, you're pieces of shit. Because you could be teaching them how to represent a sovereign life and be a king of kings or a queen of queens, kings of queens, queens of kings, and you could offset your American dream and have all damages sent to you by the state to be paid back to you in full via fraudulent contracts. So if these judges want to steamroll you, Misty, what you do is if they want to steamroll you, you say, "Excuse me, judge, but I will not be denied due process." Go look up due process. These words I speak to you, go research them. And if you attempt to deny me due process, I am entitled to which you have required to ensure your contract with me via your oath. Then you will be acting in ultra vires. Ultra vires means that these people are outside of their own authority. You have the authority. You are to instruct these people on what to do. You would be in contempt of your duty, your oath, and my God-given rights, which will put you right smack dab in the middle of accepting full personal liability for the damages you may cause in ultra vires acts, which interfere my rights as a man living upon the land in my venue. I'm the living flesh. I'm conducting the commerce here. You're nothing but my trustee. I am not the fictitious person here. So I instruct you to do whatever it is I tell you to do. Pay for the damages of the people I kill. Pay for the criminal charges that I have. Pay for the traffic tickets that I've got. And what you are doing is you are having all the damages being offset with your personal treasury account number linked to your personal name. You are being swindled, my friends. Remember, I operate my own venue and not in yours. And the alternative, if you wish to incorrectly presume me to be a person who is named defendant without any evidence nor proper claim establishing such, because cases are not claims, and there is no such thing as anyone being able to represent you in fiduciary capacity. Fiduciary capacity means they're acting. You would be interfering with my ability to conduct commerce. You're conducting your own commerce as a captain of your vessel, because you're not dead and lost at sea. You're not going to be manipulated. It would be an illegal restraint of trade for these dudes to do that. Look up 15 USC sections 1 and 2, and then look at the RICO code laws in addition to federal criminal statuses relating to the deprivations of rights under the color of law. This is what you could charge these people with. You could literally walk a magistrate off the stand for being a fraud. You can literally ask the bailiff to arrest the attorneys and arrest the magistrates and arrest the prosecutors on the stand trying to misrepresent your persona, which is a fake entity. These would be just some of the few of the laws that they would be in contempt of if they continued along the tracks and don't want to amicably settle the matter. Now they're acting in concert, like they're acting in concert on the record to steamroll you in contravention of all law, duty, and well-established jurisprudence. Now you tell them to remove this gold trim flag, and I demand the prosecutor to properly establish himself and this case before the court. And I have required to dismiss and subrogate this entire matter. So what you should do is listen to how courts of equity works, know what your status is, and you make a special limited appearance on behalf of the defendant, who is right here, which is you, and hold up your birth certificate. And then you state the following: as I understand this process, magistrate, the county attorney or police officer has leveled a criminal charge with the clerk and against the trust using all caps names, which appears here on this birth certificate. Use of the all caps name is dictated by the U.S. Printing Style Manual, which explains how to identify a corporation. The clerk, who is the administrator of the Cestui Cue Trust, who appointed you, magistrate, as the trustee for the trust. And since neither of you can be the beneficiary, this leaves me. Therefore, you are my trustee. So as my trustee, I instruct you to discharge this entire matter with subrogation of all damages, with prejudice, and award to the penalties for these crimes to be paid to me, and compensations and damages for my false arrest. The law of trust dictates an administrator, trustee, and beneficiary cannot serve two positions in a trust, so a trustee cannot be a beneficiary too. The trustee has no alternative but to honor due demands. Do you understand, Misty? You could tell the county attorney to produce the 1040 on the form because you never let them represent you or present you or represent you, as you are already in your own venue. Tell the prosecutor you'll get him a 1040 form because he wants to try to fraudulently contract you. So I do not accept to any of these contracts. I do not consent, objection to any of these. I do not follow. I do not understand your phonetics. As my trustee, I instruct you to discharge and subrogate this entire matter with prejudice and award the penalties for these crimes to be paid to me in compensations and damages for my false arrest. I'm the free living man in the flesh in my capacity as the beneficiary of the name estate in my venue. This is where I operate. I don't listen to I'm not no citizen scum. I don't listen to the privileged few. I've not seen any bonds that says that you can represent the defendant here, nor me under a fiduciary capacity, which means I want you to be arrested if you want to continue along these lines. I hold the bond. I hold the witchcraft satanic logo that they're trying to make me into a slave with. Do you understand, my friends? A person in general uses a human being, right, which is a human of a monster. We're not talking about that. We want to talk about the natural person here. Though by statute may include labor organizations, partnerships, associations, corporations, by statutes. We don't operate in statutes. We operate in natural law in our own venue. The person is a company. The person is a persona, is a mask. The state as a corporate abstraction cannot create real people. They can't do that. How are they going to create real people? You're letting them do human cloning and DNA manipulation already. How can you create a mask they wear and tax? They can create that. They're going to create you to be a mask so that you can wear that mask. They can tax it. They regulate you. They control your creation. That's the original sin, creation, creating you. This is it. This is the 666. You're being created. Men and women operate under common law. The person is ruled by statutes, codes, and regulations due to contracts he has made. Common law is meaning you're fighting against yourself. You are the defendant and the complaint, going in there and just telling them all your inside bullshit, because all you're really doing is trespassing onto their ship when you trespass the bar. You're a pirate trespassing onto their ship, so you might not want to say anything. Your person is the name on your birth certificate, driver's license, social security number, your utility bills. It is the all capital letters. These are contracts you have made with the government. You can only interface with these legal personalities.
Surrender in relationship.
Do you understand, my friends?
Is valuable only.
Do you understand how this is working? Do I need to get back to what this all means on your birth bond? This is a banking bond. The all caps name is a slave name. My name is not Kirby, it is Xylio by higher spirits. No one can tell me yes or no on that. My name is capital K, lowercase I, lowercase r, lowercase b, lowercase y. Not a business entity. That's a Jolly Roger flag. Take that flag down. That is not my flag. You are not conducting we are not here conducting commerce. I am not here in commerce. These seals, those seals are business logos. I'm a business owner. I know what a business is. I've been running a business since I was 15. I do not accept these contracts. I do not consent to these proceedings. I place this court on judicial notice. This is a color of law. This is an appearance making you mislead. It's a misuse of power under color of law. It's not what you think it is, and you are being manipulated, and you are being controlled, and you are being deceived, and you are being lied to, while UNIDROIT's flying over your head with choppers. It's a third helicopter out here, and you can see the chemical trails in the sky. You're nothing but an experiment out here. And people like me are targeted because people like you can't spend 20 minutes and listen to someone who's already applied the knowledge. This took me 17 years to learn because you went to government curriculum along with my side, right? Did you go to college and get 3 master's degrees in science as well? And then did you open up your own business? And then did you also represent yourself and prepare your persona in the system? Because I have. So I don't listen to the privileged few. I'm a king of my own kingdom. I am a king. I am a higher. My name is Sir Kirby. Capital K, lowercase I, lowercase r, lowercase b, lowercase y. I am the higher of my family. My daughters are my property because they are a state-owned vessel and I own the state. Do you understand? The jury controls the court. I am the jury. The prosecutor or judge are there to referee. And it's impossible to circumnavigate a few of these issues because of the depth of the corruption in these pseudo-courts. So please, study geocentric realm. We do not live in a heliocentric theology. Study geocentric truth. We do not live in a theory. Studies geocentric truth. We do not live in a heliocentric lie created by a Catholic Church. I don't do scientism created by Masons, and I don't do Ra's Legion created by Masons. Monopoly. You need to raise your awareness and stop allowing secret societies to govern your mental. These are soldiers doing this to you. Just because they have dead trees with sigils on them, they are not intelligent people. They are not soul people. Do you understand, my friends? I want you guys to really connect to this. I want you to join 144,000 strawmen on Facebook. I want you to look up gold fringe on your flag. I want you to call all your lawyers right now. Call all of them. Call every single lawyer you know. Call every single judge you know. Every single free man you know. People born into this. Some people are born into billion-dollar organizations. Some sons and daughters are born without this and taught how to manipulate the system to enslave you. Just like Bill Nye the Science Guy, he's nothing but a traded commodity slave. He's not even real, he's an actor. Just like Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's an actor. Just like your president is a CEO, he's an actor. They're actors, my friends. So last but not least, when you ask me what to do, this is what you do. Follow me, share all my videos, study the logos, stay really close to me, follow me, join me, see where I am, come be in my presence. If you hear my voice, you are my spirit tribe and you are being removed from me by this illusion called time. This illusion of materials, this illusion of killing your trees to write dead witchcraft sigils on them, created from Latin, derived with her web, Hebrew. Look at the back of the dollar bill. The answers are thrown in your face. The answers are all thrown in your face. They're right here thrown on your face, fam. What is that? What is what is that? What's all the symbology on the back of the dollar bill, Do you ever do your research, even just for 5 minutes? I call on all spiritual contracts which exist when I'm talking with you people, and you family, and you friends, and my spirit tribe. Those who hear me are meant to hear me. Send this to everyone, sons and daughters especially, they will save us. Otherwise, welcome in the FEMA camps. They are on the way. You're eating GMOs. You don't care about this knowledge. You don't have spiritual soul energy. I'm up and about and doing this shit 24/7. I conduct commerce in my own venue. I am my own leader. I have my own businesses. I have my own commerce. I offset my own damages and I pay my own criminal fees through the subrogation of my bank bond and my certificate of trust and my manifestation certificate, which is a Berth warehouse receipt. BERTH. You are a commodity, my friends. Please learn how I'm speaking. I'm not speaking in slavery. Remember, raise your awareness. Stop using words like conspiracy. Stop making jokes. Whatever you talk about, even if it's the smallest syntax, you are manifesting it. This is my manifest stone. It's the most powerful manifesting stone in existence because great trees used to be silicon-based entities. They used to be able to hold all of the data. They used to be silicon-based. Trees used to be 60 miles wide, 100 miles high. Of course they're destroyed and cut down. Otherwise you would notice there's no curve of Earth. There's no curvature. You would notice that we live on a level plane at sea level in all directions, which directly correlates with who you are and where you stand. Go inside these supreme courts and look at the geocentric realm logos, and if you know that they're governing your mind, we live on an infinite plane, and we are creators. We create. We have the full power to go in and out of this realm. Astral projecting means going in and out of heavens, and we could bring that knowledge here. The duality, you can remove the duality and create a heaven on earth where this plant has food on it. Why do I need to conduct commerce? These trees, they grow. They've been growing for hundreds of years. You see all the pine cones on them? Those could be thousands of fruits. That would be enough fruit to feed my whole neighborhood. Why do we need to conduct commerce? Why do I need to cut down that tree and put negative sigils on it for a government entity to own the whole corporation of food to begin with? You guys don't understand what you're talking about. Let them attack us for breaking free. I do not care. We live above them. Islam means I, self, law, and master, and they're gonna destroy Christianity. So take the religion and throw it in the trash, because anybody who labels themselves Ra's Legion is nothing but a soldier for Masonry. Soldier means soul dyer. Soul dyer. You're not fighting for a righteous cause. You're a sucker if you're a soul dyer. You're a sucker for a soldier. You're a sucker for war. You're fighting over somebody's gold shoes when gold should be infused in your DNA, my friends. Can you keep up? Purple signing means royalty. It's a kill citation. You sign in purple and you kill the citation. With my past, present, and future beings, future selves, and existences in all dimensions, and in all time circular cycles, above and below, the earth-centric sine waves of coexistence, at this exact moment, in the ever-present co-creating moment, I summon all DNA lineage ancestors and spirit tribes to create a unified, proper spiritual court of equity. Court of equity. Court of equity. I'll repeat that. Court of equity. So I might find remedy and resolve with all contracts which have inserted fine print during the pre-birth and birthing process. You need to kill trees? You really need to kill trees? And conduct the commerce? Do you really need to use people? This is how people are enslaved right here, by filing fake exhibits so that they can conduct a fake commerce as a commodity, as a slave owner to other slaves. There's UNIDROIT, just helicopters over your house all day long. That'd be cool if one of those helicopters just crashed on me, killed my family, and now I don't exist anymore. You're okay with military industrial complex putting chemical trails on you? You can't see can you not see the chemical trails? It's 110 degrees out here. What do, Misty? You raise awareness. You let people know that this is desiccated blood cell particles with heavy oxides, and you can go outside and test the air for your damn self in your carbon-based body meat pack that you're enslaved in. Because propria persona means you're the entity within that enslaved meat pack. You're just nothing but an experiment. You're the higher mind here. Do you understand? Break free of this. You know, they've been attacking us, Misty. This is nothing new. You were attacked when you were born, and they cut off your penis via circumcision, and they started enforcing a belief system called Ra's Legion on your mind, meaning religion, which is a satanic-owned, soul-dire syntax of Luciferian, Masonic overlords who want to play God. They want to control every syntax so that they can play God. Freedom is higher syntax. Freedom is not harming anything. They've taken that one commandment with religion and moved it into duality. So the Satan, the devil, is saying that you can live free and kill people. No, that's not how that shit works. Living free means you do not harm any life here, because all life is God's creation. There is no control there. You can go learn how to understand that. You go live in your own space by yourself. These prisons are frauds. You have good men taken off the street. You have mothers and fathers taken off the street. And you have 144,000 missing sons and daughters every single year popping up. Do you understand how many people that is? You know how many people are being raped and swindled? Do you know how many deep underground military bases are created right now with huge full-blown child trafficking centers. And it's gotten so big, they're ready to take pedophilia mainstream, and they are. Look up Pizzagate, look up Disney 666, join those groups and pages. Look it up. Go to the page Signs and Symbols and Subliminal Messages and follow that and realize that you are in a spiritual contract via the logo and the sigils and the cursive and, you know, tiny, all this sacred geometry around your birth bonds. You need to hereby revoke all spiritual contracts which deal with all government personalities, elected and unelected. You revoke all spiritual contracts with family crest-based government systems. Those look like family crests, what they really are. It's not healthcare, heal you, hell of all. Come on now. I revoke all my spiritual contracts with every senator, every conning man, every congress, every ambassador, every Supreme Court member, every president, vice president, and all cabinet members. I revoke all spiritual contracts with every branch of government for all of my past, present, and future lives. I do not consent to the role of the privileged few. I revoke all rights, all responsibilities. I do not presume or assume any new contracts. I revoke all assumptions. I revoke all presumptions. I revoke all signatures which retain me with the entirety of any or all government organizations, family crests, sacred geometry buildings, sacred geometry logos, sacred geometry organizations, and sacred geometry syntax language code. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with the Federal Reserve, families, and corporate entities. I revoke all rights and assumptions and responsibilities with every member of the Federal Reserve in exchange for value systems run by a governing of your mind, a government, or a corporate official. I revoke all spiritual contracts hidden within the government exchange for value systems. What is this? Registrar. This is a value system they're manipulating you with. I revoke all rights, privileges, powers assumed and unassumed, consented and unconsented, with every federal law enforcement branch which uses Federal Reserve energy to support the system of domination and control. I revoke all spiritual contracts which create consent for the government committees which determine quality of life and have UNIDROIT helicopters flying over my house all day, over my land where I stake claim, where my body is. I'm the king of my body, I operate in my venue. My body is my home. Wherever I stand is my home. Why is the airspace above me being poisoned with chemical trails? Why is there UNIDROIT helicopters and mass industrial military carving holes in deep underground military bases and bunkers beneath where I stand, making tender age warehouse facilities where Pizzagate is rising, where Congress is running pedophilia. The courts you go in there and talk to is running the pedophile network. So I revoke all spiritual contracts that enable the government to use time travel as a means of domination and control. They can see the future. They know you're born. They know when your birth certificate is. They know you're a Scorpio, Ascending Gemini, Moon sign Taurus. They know how you think. They know where you're going. They know the numerology. They know the numbers. They link you with a social security number. They control you with the numbers. They have UNIDROIT over my house watching me 24/7, which is my body. They do not want me giving you this information. I have 5,000 removed posts from sharing this information. Please, please share this until you cannot share this anymore. I revoke all rights and duties of all this. I demand the immediate return of all government time travel personalities to their right and perfect time. That's what CERN is. They're able to see into the future. They're able to see into the past. They're able to pull entities into somewhere else. I revoke this, you friends. I revoke all rights with all technologies which alter dimensions. Technology is just a perversion of your neurological system. Your mind is way more powerful, and you can download it into crystals, and you can download it into trees, and you can access the Akashic records, and you can understand what I'm telling you just by meditating and thinking about Monk Xylio, thinking about Kirby Foster, not the slave name, not the persona, but Kirby, the capital K, lowercase I, R-B-Y, no name. No name. I revoke all rights which alter dimensions, manipulate time streams, or do harm with any sentient life forms coexisting on Earth in all timelines and all dimensions. I do not consent to timeline wars. That's what this bond is. I do not consent to mass propaganda. That's what people are lying to you about, not telling you about the symbols and the snakes and the witchcraft and the DNA alterating. Why do I have blue eyes? Ask it. Ask it. I do not consent to the use of military domination and control. This is the 7th helicopter I seen fly over my body just now. The 7th one in my airspace. This is chemical trails I've been sitting in when people are saying, hey, they're not chemical trailing out here. Look very close inside this picture that I'm showing you at the sky. We are in it, fam. We're in it. This isn't water molecules or cloud precipitation. Don't forget, you're talking to a triple master of scientism. I'm not dealing with this trash anymore. Those are not clouds. That's a green haze. That's a light green chemical trail haze out there. And we're in it, fam. Fluoride was used in concentration camps to dumb you down, fluoridate you, and keep you from learning this stuff because you cannot hold a conversation. I can already see the 9 people in here were not the first 9 people that started here. They don't even care. You don't care to be a slave. This is where the deceiving comes into play. If people shall be deceived, then let them be deceived. No, and force the awakening on them. I'm not going to deceive you. You want to hate me for treating you like a king, for treating you like a queen, for raising your awareness to this shit because you have nothing to talk about? Everything you talk about is small talk and has nothing to do with what really matters when it comes to soul energy. Unless you are a sovereign being living off the land, then I take that back. But most of you are not. 99% of you are not. 99% of you just want to conduct commerce for your slave owners. 99% of you are going to get mad at me when I tell you heliocentric theology, meaning theory, meaning it's not real, is a lie, completely triggered. Gravity is Latin. It's a Latin word for the dead, and it means heavy. So they try to make you think that magic is real, that it's, you know, top of the line, not letting you know that your awareness is real. Me pointing out the 9th helicopter in this video, mass industrialized military complex. I do not consent to this shit. I do not consent to these wars. I do not consent to these people using my vote to make a military industrialized complex. I do not consent with the use of military to dominate and control. Where's my helicopter at? Where's your helicopter at? Do you understand if you were Tesla and you let Tesla's knowledge proceed instead of letting the satanic Luciferian like Edison come in and steal his knowledge, you would learn how to vibrate your patterns of levels of energy higher than these crystals. You could download into crystals and into other people's minds. You can access the Akashic records. You could stop eating heavy oxide metals and have gold infused into your DNA. You can learn how to levitate. That's not a magical force. That's a heightening of your body and of the frequencies of your mind and of your body, and eating as a frugivore. It's that simple. Make some ormus. You could live off of ormus. You don't need water. You don't need food. I have studies with the monks where we go fasting for weeks at a time. I've gone 2 weeks without food or water. Some of these monks go 30 days with 30 years of positive thoughts. And what that does is allows them to meditate stones bigger than houses and to float them into a levitating free stance. It also allows them to meditate in the body they're in and they're able to transcend into the higher realm in the same body they're in. They're able to transcend their soul into this same body. They don't go turn into a light or turn into another entity. They actually transcend their current body to pure light with this knowledge. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts which secretly interwoven into each other, and every law, past, present, and future. These sacred woven Jolly Roger flags and these gold trim symbologies, meaning that the Constitution is suspended and it's not even real, and you are a commodity, a slave on the market, and no one's there to save you. These people pretending to be lawyers, pretending to be magistrates and judges. Only God can judge, not a magic man in black robes conducting commerce on behalf of the devil in all black robes and satanic worship. I revoke all rights to label soul families with sacred geometry, linguistics, which cross dimensions our realities. You only know of the box, you only know of the triangle, you only know of the circle. Why don't you know the hexahedrons or the higher sacred geometry linguistics, which speak to your mind in an unknown format because you don't even know how to connect with the fact that frequency weaponry is being used on your neurological system. Take a deep breath, Joseph. Tiffany, take a full breath. You're not breathing. Your breath is your spirit. How come you don't take that breath into the bottom of your lung? How come you don't have the same soul energy that I have? How come you can't keep going and going and going and going and going off of a natural life high? Because it's a natural physics of your body. It's natural law that you need to you need the syntax to understand, so that you can hereby revoke all spiritual contracts which secretly interwove these chemicals into your DNA and secretly wove these frequency weaponry Gwen towers into your neurological system, keeping you from understanding this. You have a blockade on your head because you study heliocentric theology and you believe in the fake alien invasion. You don't research genetics, you don't research DNA, you don't research how we've been manipulated since the beginning. Creation is the original sin. When they created this carbon-based body based off of a syntax code grammar, the 666 mark of the beast is your birth certificate. You got slavery on top of slavery on top of slavery. Pretty soon you're going to have slaves with slavery contacts trying to put computer chips in you, but you don't understand. Look up neural dust. Look up desiccated blood cell particles. Look up smart dust. Pause this video. Rewind this video. I will keep repeating myself in this video. I know you are trying. Try harder. There's no such thing as trying. You can. Just do it. Okay? There's only one official United States flag, which preserves the rights protected by the U.S. Constitution. Under it, you are innocent until proven guilty. National flags are government flags. They do not preserve the USA constitutional rights. You are guilty until proven innocent underneath them. And our flag is red, white, and blue, friends, not yellow. You gotta stop dealing with all this stupid shit. I mean, what are you doing? You know, people drinking lean. Are we 13 years old? People getting drunk. I mean, I had a fake ID when I was 17 years old, and you still want to go bar hopping? Get a fucking life, my friends. You are being swindled. Why do you think they call alcohol spirits? Because they are removing you from your spirits. Everything that I am saying, you need to understand. They took 12 years to conduct your mind into this format. It took government curriculum 12 years inside government buildings with no windows, which you call schools, to educate you. Now, language syntax code educate means to lead you out. Educate means to lead you out. My baby's mother, the mother of my daughters, won't even listen to this. She doesn't even understand this. I even helped her get through middle school and high school, through the government curriculum that was imposed on us, with my straight A having ass just sitting there having just consenting to their obeying, thinking that government is authority and schools are authoritative figures are truth. And they're not. They're not. So here I am today. I'm not allowed to be a teacher for government curriculum because I'm not going to teach the facade of a curriculum. It's a lie. They're just teaching you to be controlled slaves, even with the bell. Beep. That's what they do in prisons, isn't it? Isn't it the same noise they make in prisons when they unlock all the doors for you to go eat when they want you to eat on their little 50-cent meals? Because every single person incarcerated under this knowledge is being made money off of their estate. They're all caps name. They're all caps estate. So last but not least, I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts which secretly interwove this knowledge, these symbols, these numbers, this bank bond, this registry December 28th. I wasn't born then. I was born November 5th. What is this number? What is the registration on a registrar? Okay, what is the local registrar? Who is this person on my bank that's not my mother or my father? And my parents, why are my parents not knowing this? Why are they so incompetent? They're so incompetent that my father and my mother don't even know how this system works. And from what I understand, my own father doesn't even have his name on my birth certificate. He has his business name, his all caps name, so that my mother, as a pay rental, can use his commerce name to steal money from him so that the state can take me away as a state-owned vessel. As a state-owned vessel, the birth state claims custody of your children pursuant to the birth certificate and records them under the Department of Transportation as a state-owned vessel. So unless my father didn't sign this, he said, fuck you, and he took me in as his son without any business commodity being ran, then we would have full hire over our family, where if we ever needed to, we would just offset and subrogate any damages and crimes being done by our fictitious person, because they're a dead vessel lost at sea. They're not even real. Do you understand, my friends? Do you understand? Public schools are a lie. Education means to lead you out. Listen to the syntax code. Study etymology and the origin of words. I do not consent to the passing of laws which affect my soul family migrations. Soul family immigrations are systems which prevent me from uniting my complete and total soul family. You all know who you are. You all know who you are. Tiffany and Frankie and Lindsay Goodman. You all know who you are. You all know who you are. Each and every single one of you. You wheelers. Anybody hears my voice. Anybody on my friends list, my 250,000 followers who see me getting banned, see me going into the court, seeing me represent myself, seeing me going in and out of prison because they're conducting a fake commerce on me and trying to basically psych me out, where I'm putting judges on judicial notice, I'm citizens arresting prosecutors, and none of you guys are out there giving a damn while you worry about what you don't know what you're going to eat tomorrow for lunch. Half of you probably don't even know what you're going to eat for lunch today. Do you know what I'm saying, Sean McGuire? Sean McGuire, you're really going to want to start this video over. It's definitely going to get banned, because I'm here to revoke all rights, rules, and laws which define soul family in this 3D matrix level, which most people only see in 2D. I return all definitions of soul family status to Earth Mother. I revoke all rights to label soul families with sacred geometry linguistics, which cross dimensions and realities. Even the words I'm speaking now, which is a witchcraft derived from an English alphabet, an alphabet. It's a witchcraft. The letter A is nothing but a sigil. It's a witchcraft sigil. The letters, they're symbolic. This is how they maintain UNIDROIT control over all of Earth. Why is everyone's second language English? It's because it's a derived language from Latin, which is the language of the dead, not a dead language. I do not consent to the use of this sacred geometry linguistics. I don't consent to it. I do not consent to them using these linguistics as a means of energy harvesting. I can harness your energy. I can manipulate you knowing when you're born. I can just come up to you and I could say, wow, you're Kirby Foster. You come off of as an intense soul connecting zodiac searcher. You have all the answers, no way of getting to them. You have everybody's answers in life, but have a hard time applying them to them. Sounds like you're a visionary. Sounds like you have dreams. Now, abracadabra, kazam. This dude is an emotional, sending, idealistic, materialist rock sign at night. And knowing that knowledge, you know people's trigger points. You can look at people. It reminds me of Sherlock Holmes, where the dude knows everybody's aggression and knows everybody's triggering points to manipulate you and deceive you into a fraudulent syntax. So I do not consent and hereby revoke all spiritual contracts which enable the government to dominate and control all people on any timeline or dimension in Earth Mother's realms. I revoke all assumptions and presumptions of power and caste systems. I revoke all spiritual contracts which define sentient life as cattle or commerce. I'll repeat that. I revoke all spiritual contracts which define sentient life as cattle or commerce. I do not consent to my life force being used for any purpose which does not heal Earth Mother and promote unity, oneness, sciences, consciences, conning of our senses among all sentient kind living and coexisting within Mother Earth. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not harm. That's including these trees that you're destroying and making a debt system out of them, including these bank bonds with logos of witchcraft satanic symbols, which means human cloning, mind control, manipulation of DNA, snakes means poison, a magic staff means to manipulate and magic you, and the phoenix wings is what's connected to our whole entire slavery system, making you think that they're creating something from nothing that doesn't exist. You're not creating the phoenix arising from ashes. The word nothing by definition does not exist, my friends. Soul is infinite. Soul is infinite. How come I see you in a past life and a future life, Sean McGuire? Jahara Abisi. How come I know that we've never left here? We've always all been right here. We're finally reconnecting, Tiffany. And Frankie, we've always been right here together. We've never left this realm together. We've been right here. This little thing right here is telling me that we should all be connected right now. We should be in a little spirit circle surrounding this fictitious entity, Kirby James Foster, right? This is a fictitious persona, Kirby James Foster. This is the slave. The person talking. Oh, look at Facebook blocking me, Sean McGuire. They didn't like that shit, huh? Let me come back to this before we get blocked completely. Another UNIDROIT soldier. Look at that. UNIDROIT flying over my capacity in my own venue. I do not consent. I do not consent to mass industrialized complex. They're buffering. They're not buffering. They're blocking. They're censoring. I have 5,000 removed posts. I can prove it to you. Inbox me. I'll send you some of them. You have friends out there that are actually resharing my blocked posts, and it just gets me reblocked. But it's all gravy, baby. I've only got 17 banned accounts. I'm only sitting out here in chemtrails all day watching you guys just chit-chat about small talk, which is completely irrelevant to the all caps strawman name, which if you want to live free, you need to learn this stuff. And I was in the middle of my spiritual contract, Alicia Eaton. And this video keeps getting cut out because they are censoring me. This information they do not want you to have. I feel if I end this video, you will not be able to see it. So I was just gonna keep going because people are like, well, what do we do? Well, this is what we do, fam. You share the shit out of this video till you can't share it anymore, and you wake masses. And you download this into the Akashic records, and you take care of animals, and you take care of trees, and you get these chemtrails out of our sky, and you hereby revoke all spiritual contracts which enable the government to dominate and control on all people at any timeline or dimension in Earth Mother's realms. If I see another UNIDROIT chopper go over my body, I'm just gonna flip out. This is so overwhelming. I just saw 19 helicopters come through those chemical clouds in the sky over our body conducting commerce. And I'm not about it, fam. I'm not about it, Joseph. Thank you for realizing that this video keeps getting taken offline while I'm conducting the speech. They didn't want you to hear me say, I do not consent to the use of sacred geometry, cities, infrastructures, linguistics, nor artwork for the purpose of domination and control. That is this. Again, when I got bleeped out, Alicia and Jahara and Joseph and Sean, this is a symbol. The phoenix means derived nothing. You make something out of nothing. The word nothing does not exist. By syntax, grammar, code, nothing does not exist. Nothing does not exist. Your soul is infinite. There's no such thing as nothing. Okay? These snakes around a staff, these are 2 poisonous snakes. These are snake poisons. So when you talk about health and wealth and medicine and the pharmacy is pharmica. Pharmica is witchcraft. Pharmica is creating is the creation of a disease, a dis-ease. They're dis-easing your life, they're dis-easing your soul, they're diseasing you, and then they create the cure. Meaning there was always a cure. Meaning if you just ate correctly, and you were a frugivore, not eating GMOs, by the way. Understand that GMOs are no longer labeled. You need to know the numbers. Everything's a number now, including your birth bond, which is a fake number. See these bonds? Conducting you as a slave? You need to learn that. Alright, my friends? And you need to share this. And you need to watch how my 5,000 posts are removed, fam. You need to see how they remove my posts. You need to see how they conduct... Go to 144,000 strawman page. You understand? If you guys need to be a part of a movement, go to wakemasses.com. We are feeding the homeless. I am out here feeding the homeless. I'm out here by myself, taking care of animals. Look at them hiding behind the bush over there. I take care of animals. I take care of porcupines. I take care of cats, dogs. I take care of sons and daughters, even if they're not my own blood. Do you understand me? I'm a father of earth. You can call me any name in the book you want, but I am a father of earth. Do you understand? Do you understand? All product is GMO, my friends. When you go to that Walmart, that's nothing but martial law. They're in it together. UNIDROIT, look at my live videos, fam. Some of you guys must not be paying attention.
What is the secret of attraction? The secret of attraction is just be yourself.
Secret of attraction, just be yourself. Be beautiful.
Just love
Be you.
yourself as you are.
Love yourself as you are, not as this all caps slave name entity which does not exist, which is nothing but a persona.
Thank you, God, for making me
Thank you, God, for making me just the way I am.
just as I am.
Just as I am. God is in all things. Me, you, this animals. Honking boy. They're gonna learn something today.
And your negative qualities. And say, I love myself for being just like this.
I love myself for being just like this, fan. I do not consent to the passing of laws which affect my soul family migrations, my soul family immigrations, or systems which prevent me from uniting with my complete and total soul family. Sven and Tiffany and Alicia.
Humanity.
Simple, unaffected humanity is right here in this video. Simple, unaffected humanity. If this means I am immensely attractive, take this immense attractiveness you have for me and go share it for the world, please. Share it to Earth. Share it to everybody. Share it to your sons. Share it to your daughters. Share it to your lawyers. Share it to everybody. Your prosecutors. Share it. The whole system needs to collapse. This is how you become whole.
Has no opposites.
There's no opposites in love when you are whole. You love everything. This is where the duality falls into play. If I'm aware of this negative, then I know how to remove that from that gap where love is excluded. Love is excluded in things like this. Someone needs some love, okay? There's a gap here that you have to brainwash and control people's minds. There's a gap there. You need to learn how to see yourself, my friends. And revoke all these rights. Revoke spiritual contracts with all forms of sacred geometry and linguistics, past, present, and future, including English, which is the derived witchcraft alphabet. Look up Monzylio. MONKZYLIO on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Some other accounts, they're all banned and blocked, and it teaches you this knowledge. I'm giving it to you in picture book symbols. No words are needed, fam. No religion needed, fam. No Ra's Legion needed, okay? I do not consent to the use of this geometric linguistics meaning of energy harvesting. I do not consent to the use of it. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts which enable the government to dominate and control all people of all entities of all heart beings on any timeline or dimension in Earth Mother's realms. I revoke all assumptions and presumptions of power and case systems. I revoke all spiritual contracts which define sentient life as cattle or commerce. I do not consent to my life force being used for any purpose which does not heal Mother Earth or promote unity consciousness among all sentient kind living and coexisting with Earth, our Mother. This is billions of dollars worth of information. Billions. If I were your lawyer, you would pay me hundreds of thousands for this. If I were your attorney, I would turn you over to the court and have you pay me tens of thousands of dollars to get you on a deal with the system under your commerce, all caps name. That is a swindle. I'm not going to swindle you. I'm not going to be a courtsman. I'm a statesman. I'm a kingsman. I'm a king of my castle, conducting commerce in my venue, not in their venue. They do not have my. They've captured and conquered. Is now operating under Admiralty law with the gold trim flag. It is a fraud system. I do not consent to my life force being used for any purpose which does not heal Mother Earth and promote unity consciousness among all sentient living kind coexisting within Earth, our Mother. This is a dead tree. This is a dead tree. This is a dead tree, Kayla Marie. And I hereby declare Mother Earth is now in domination with me in all forms. Against this UNIDROIT mass industrial complex. See all these choppers ahead of us? Come on, fam. Just all day, 24/7. Chemical trails, mass industrial complex, the manipulation of your DNA. You're not being taught how to levitate. You don't have your own chopper. You seriously think that they landed on a moon, which is a frequency light orb, which you can zoom in with a P900 camera, and you really think that they had a landline in 1969 calling out there to the moon from a landline? There's a big, huge wire. Look, another UNIDROIT chopper while we're on it. Keep your mind moving. Keep your awareness up. How fast can you move your mind on these matters? I do not consent to my life force being used for any purpose which does not heal Earth, our Mother, and promote this unity, oneness, and our hearts together as one with the heartbeat which comes from the Earth. And her story is all being hidden. The only history you have is his story, written by the victors, written by Luciferian satanic occult ritualists. Right? For 7,500 years, but you've been believing bullshit. For 7,500 years, I'm trying to teach you that you've been lied to. So some of you aren't going to connect with this, and it's a very disheartening thing. So please share this video. I'm begging of you to share this video and realize that mass industrialized military is being invoked and imposed onto you. Look at all these military choppers all day long. UNIDROIT is here. This is my airspace. If you are a free sovereign, you would be tripping out that there's chemical trails in the sky and that there's helicopters everywhere. And I think you all who run away from it are cowards. And I think people of law who know this stuff and don't help people are cowards. Complete fucking cowards. And I do not consent to timeline wars. And I do not consent to my life force being used for anything which does not heal Mother Earth. And I hereby declare Earth, our mother, is now in domination with me for all forms of so-called global government. Globe being a facade. Global meaning a lie. Interpersonal relations or galactic relations being a lie. Fraudulent. The space program that they're relating to, saying that the air I breathe is theirs, and they're going to conduct commerce on that, on the air that I breathe. They're already getting away with the chemical trails, fam. I call forth on all ancestors to honor this reading, to honor this video, all of my DNA lineage, all of my spirit tribe. I call on every ancestor that's connected with me, which is all forms of God, in every way, shape, and form, to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into Earth Akashic records for all sentient kind to understand, then overstand. Our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times, my friend. All the time. Get the UNIDROIT out of here. Study this. Share this video. Study this and share this video. The British Accreditation Registry is illegitimate government conducting commerce on our land, which has been considered a captured entity. You are the treasure, my friends. Wake masses, okay? I do not accept to any of these new syntaxes. We are in our own commerce. If you are sufficiently indoctrinated to believe, meaning to be of all lies, for if you know, you don't need to believe, a judge or a mayor or a minister or a priest must join you in holy matrimony for a dead tree sigil. Subsequently, you literally apply for a license, meaning a lie of your senses. License. Now you both have married the state. So now the state owns you. So the state is titled to its fair share of the division of your marital properties, including your own sons and daughters. Including your own sons and daughters. The state takes my daughters away from me unless I represent in my own capacity for as a father of daughters. No one is going to tell me when or when I cannot see them. No one is going to tell me I have to pay for my daughters who I can take care of and can conduct commerce with and can offset any damages or subrogate any crimes or any lawsuits or any supports by the states or the tax or the criminal records or traffic records, because I am in my own venue. I am not this all caps straw man name. I'm Xylio. I am the higher entity. My daughters, if they're a state-owned vessel, which is the birth state, claims custody over you as a son or a daughter, meaning you're a renderer of chi energy. Children, a lie. They're lying by rendering the chi energy. Pursuant to the birth certificate, and records them under the Department of Transportation as a state-owned vessel. So I own my own property. I own my own property. Not the state. Not the state. I'm the captain of my venue. I'm conducting and I'm in my capacity. The capacity. I'm in my own capacity here. As my trustee, I instruct these people, these fraudulent cons, these grests to con you gradually over time. I instruct them to discharge and subrogate my entire matter with prejudice and award the penalties to any crimes to be paid to me in compensations for damages for any of my false arrests or false cases. I am the free living man in the flesh in my capacity. I am the king of my kingdom as a beneficiary of the name estate. This is the name estate that the prosecutor's walking around with, trying to say that that you killed someone, or that you can't see your daughters, or that you have a traffic ticket because you can't walk across the street. Talk about being swindled. Invoke the rights of the Republic, my friends, and share this knowledge. Bankruptcy B1 through B8. You could file 6 pages to do credit counseling. It's $280 to file a fee of 50 pages. And you could file and list assets, including your birth certificate and its CUSIP number, the value of the mutual fund on your birth certificate, traded on the market as a commodity, found on the line using your CUSIP number on Fidelity Investments. You must have your CUSIP number on your asset schedule for your birth certificate will be charged as frivolous by the judge or the trustee. So they have control of your estate, my friends, until you go in there and propria persona and let them know that the use of all capital letters names is dictated by the U.S. Printing Manual, which explains how to identify a corporation, which means the clerk, who is the administrator of your Cestui Cue Trust, which happened in 1666, the same time the Taurus field went online around our geocentric realm. You might want to study Flat Earth. Who appointed you magistrate as the trustee for the trust. You want access to your $8 billion, you best know who the hell you are and where the hell you stand, and get away from government curriculum and get away from indoctrinations of theologies, which is religion and scientism. They're theories. Heliocentricism is a theory. And if you guys don't know that, then they're fraudulently contexting you to not know where you are or where you stand. You have no clue where you are. You have no clue where you stand. You have no clue where you can or cannot go. You are kept in your cage with the Antarctica Treaty. And you're not going to get to the center, because at the center is where they have sacred lands divided in fours called Mount Meru, where they have everything guarded with submarines and military and all the weapons that you guys have been building for the last 7,500 years. When they eradicate your lands and take away all your guns and all your bombs and stuff, they take them to the center where there's a huge Luciferian cult guarding you from the Garden of Eden, which still exists. It still exists. I've seen a lot of these things that I speak on, and it'd be smart for you guys to stop sparring rents as pay rentals, because as a pay rent, you pay rent tolls, you're sparring rents, and as children, you are sheeple of parents and not free mans or women's, because children means to render your chi energy. So best believe that this is a fraudulent system. Everything about it, in every way, shape, or form, this is a fraudulent system, my friends. And we're going to keep this going for a second, because you need to know about these things. You need to know that a state licensed attorney at law representing the plaintiff is not a state license. A state license is a license under the Nevada to conduct commerce. That's what I'm a business owner about. You're going to try to tell me that this is a state license? No, the practice of law cannot be licensed by any state. You can look up Schwer versus the Board of Examiners, 353 U.S. 238-239. Look up that case. There's no such thing as the practice of law that can be licensed by any state. That's fraudulent. You better know your law. You better know it, my friends. Because they lack jurisdiction. This whole system lacks jurisdiction because it is colorable court of law. It's a de facto. They got mass industrialized complex. They got you're consenting to war. You're consenting to children being raped in CPS facilities, which are warehouse centers for kids, where 144,000 sons and daughters are missing every single year. You place the courts on a notice of removal filed with the federal court. Notice of removal on the record, filed with the federal court. It's non-negotiable, affidavit of fact. And you object to any of these proceedings, you don't understand their phonetics, they're speaking in a legalese language. I do not proceed to any more of these proceedings. And if you try to contact me, you'll be sued in federal court. Give me an IRS Form 56. Anyone acting in a fiduciary capacity, you cannot represent me. Anyone acting in a fiduciary, F-U-D-I-C-I-A-R-Y, in a fiduciary capacity cannot represent you, cannot represent me. Fiduciary capacity, you cannot be represented as such. Read the Form 56. Judges are appointed. Look at the oath of their office. Request the oath of office, because it's not to natural law or to any law, it's to the bench, which is to the bank. So connect with the sounds. The sounds knew much more given credit for regarding life. The sound creates these different syntax codes. Every single letter that I'm spewing right now is nothing but a hex. It's nothing but a spell. Mathematics and magnetism, advanced healing, technology, unforeseen forces. Do you understand this stuff? This all comes from higher mind. It's all within. It's decoded information, and it's everywhere. It's in symbols. It's in shapes. It's in sacred geometry. Do you understand? You can request the court for an EIN number, report it to the IRS for backing up withholding, because the IRS is a sinning. They're a sinner. The definition of fiduciary. The IRS is fiduciary. They're acting in concert. They're not real. They're making you consent to paying taxes because you just agree to. They are acting in fiduciary. So if you invoke the rights of the republic and you tell them no one can operate in fiduciary, meaning to pretend to be you, that's a fraud. You need to address the jurisdiction 90% of the time. They're not they don't address it. The jurisdiction of industrialized complex military choppers conducting commerce over your body is extremely fraudulent, and you guys are all suckers for war. They're killing you, they're destroying you, they're playing God. You guys need to raise your awareness to this and remove yourself from this system. All right, you have to know how to conduct yourself. You need to know what your status is, and you need to know how to represent your status before you go refusing anything. You can't refuse a flu shot if you don't know how to homeschool your children. You can't refuse that because you already labeled yourself as an incompetent government entity. This isn't James Foster and Carlene Foster. They're not my mother and father. They're my parentals. They don't want to choose to learn this system. They want to choose to learn how to conduct commerce. So they want me to be a government infant under the government. And that's what these bonds are for. If you get your long form birth certificate, you will see that it's a bank bond on the bottom of it. It actually says banking bond. You are the creditor and the debtor. You are the grantor and the beneficiary. You are the creditor, the grantor, the beneficiary. Raise your awareness, my friends. Vibrate higher. Share this video till you cannot share it anymore.